What is going on, you pleasant peasants? Escape back here today. It's Friday, new video. You guys voted for another fundamental concepts video. So the concept we're going to be talking about today is quite brief, and I tend to think that intermediate players are quite familiar with this concept, but beginners are not whatsoever. The concept I want to be talking about today is baiting. And after putting some time and thought into it, I came to the conclusion that baiting is essentially using your minor resources to get rid of your opponent's major resources so that when you play your major resources, your opponent is going to struggle to deal with them. And let me put that definition up right there for you guys. Yeah. And so today I'm going to be discussing a bunch of single target spells that can create a lot of baiting scenarios. There are tens and tens and tens of cards that create baiting scenarios. This video could go up to like an hour long if I were to make a video on all those cards. And yeah, I want to talk about these single removal spell cards, single target removal spells. And before I get started, I want to say lots of beginner players will misuse these cards. They'll play them on smaller, irrelevant minions, and then when their opponent plays something like a Ragnaros or a Faceless, they sit there and they complain and they're butthurt and they say, oh, that card's broken, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to list off these single target removal spells that create a lot of baiting scenarios, and yeah, let's get right into it. So Shaman, Hex, they usually play 2 hexes. Druid plays Mulch, usually only 1 Mulch, usually. Mid-range Shaman plays Deadly Shot, 2 of them, usually. Execute, Warrior plays Dragon Warrior and Tempo Warrior play Execute, they do not play Shield Slam. However, Control and Cthulhu play Shield Slam and Execute. Next, Rogue plays Sap, it's a little tempo orientated. Mage plays Polymorph and Fireball. Reno Mage is the only mage deck that plays Polymorph, but Tempo Mage doesn't, whereas it plays 2 Fireballs. Next, Priest, you have Death, Pain, and Entomb. Most decks play 2 of all these, so yeah, you have to bait out really well to get rid of all these cards. And Warlock only has 1 single target removal spell, which is Siphon Soul. So many of you intermediate players are obviously probably really familiar with these cards. You don't need that much elaboration on them. You know how to bait these cards out and how to use them efficiently. But many new players don't. As I said, they'll probably use these when they're playing and using these cards. They'll use them inefficiently, and they won't know how to bait them out when their opponent's playing these cards. So let's say the game state. Let's create a game state. Let's say you're playing Dragon Warrior and you're playing against a mid-range Shaman. The game state is not stressed, and you have a Draconic Crusher in your hand alongside a Ragnaros. So typically, lots of beginner players are, oh my god, I got the Ragnaros, I can just play it. But no, you want to play the Draconic Crusher. See if they have a Hex. If they have a Hex, they'll play it on your Draconic Crusher. Otherwise, they're going to struggle to deal with it in the first place. And if they do Hex your Draconic Crusher, then you can play the Ragnaros with not having to worry and instantly alter the game state so they start panicking, etc. So that's how you want to bait them out, by using smaller minions that are still going to stress the game state, and you're going to have to force them to deal with it. And sometimes they'll use cards like this if they don't have anything else. So you want to really bait these cards out, and when you're using these cards, you want to use them on your opponent's big minions. Don't just waste these cards. They're really crucial cards. And yeah. Next, I want to talk about secrets. 3 main classes only you play secrets. There's Mage, Hunter, and Paladin. I think we're gonna start seeing these Hunter secrets a lot more because Cloaked Huntress got released yesterday in Karazhan. So look out for that. And yeah. So first, starting off with Mage secrets, we have Vaporize, Mirror Entity, and Counterspell. Counterspell, waste your unimportant spells, your irrelevant spells, see if they have Counterspell. Mirror Entity, you typically want to play low, small minion, see if they have mirror entity, and vaporize, once again, attack with a minion that's irrelevant or that's small. Next, as I said, watch out for these spells, the Hunter's Secrets, not spells, well, they are spells, but the Hunter's Secrets, you got Freezing Trap and Explosive Trap. Watch out for these. Explosive Trap, you typically want to attack with the undeveloped board or buff your minions up so you make sure they can't die, etc. In Freezing Trap, you want to attack with small minions, typically into their own minions to see if they have Freezing Trap, and if they don't have Freezing Trap, then you typically know it's Explosive Trap, and then at that point you can develop the board before you attack. So that's that. And then the Paladin Secrets work basically like Mage Secrets. You have Noble Sacrifice, which is kind of like Vaporize. You attack, does something. So typically you want to attack either with a minion that's not going to die to the Noble Sacrifice, or you want to attack with something like a token to instantly remove it. And then you got Repentance, which works kind of like Mirror Entity. You want to summon a small minion so that it only loses like 1 or 2 health, not like a Ragnaros that goes from like 8 health to 1 health instantly and they can remove it. So yeah, that's that. I told you guys it's going to be a really brief video. Hope you beginner players learn something. And yeah, that's it. So don't forget to like if you like the video, comment on what you would like to see for next week's video, and also comment on what I could have done better in this video, and subscribe if you want to keep up with my channel. But besides that, hope you guys enjoyed the video, learned something potentially. I know not so much for you intermediate players, but hopefully for you beginners. And yeah, hope you have a great day, enjoy the video, and yeah, peace.